What could be more compelling for a watch? Well, its origin dates back to over 80 years, and it still remains the best-selling reference since 1945. History has revealed that watch stands the test of times and receives the acceptance wide enough that even changing times and evolving trends couldn't make it redundant, is what is truly timeless. As a part of continuous improvement to cater for market needs and demands, the sizes of watches historically have continued to increase from the time when people used to wear the watches for the time reading to now when the watches we wear give the experience more often than telling the time. A fine piece of art exhibiting the highest level of craftsmanship. The watches we wear now define the legacy and heritage, the pride and life's milestones. They define the sense of ownership of a timeless belonging that ages with us and never stops ticking as long as they are on our wrist. The size 41mm was added to date just back in 2009, but the case back then was slightly thicker and the watch overall had a little beefier looks with thicker hour markers. Datejust was always meant to be a dressier offering by Rolex, and to align the design, Rolex changed the case to thinner 11.7mm size in 2016. A year later, the same DJ was offered in stainless steel case and the design that you are looking at today in this video. DJ is practically one of very few offerings by Rolex where you can configure the watch to suit your style or preference, unlike most of the Rolex professional models where the watch design is just fixed and you either take it or leave it. With DJ, you have the ability to select the type of dial, bezel, bracelet and even the dial color. The configuration I have in this video is my personal favorite due to how seamlessly it ticks the boxes for a perfect dress watch for everyday use. This configuration is blue dial with fluted white gold bezel and jubilee bracelet. The fluted bezel not only works so well with DJ to complete the dressy looks but also adds up to the experience and joy of wrist view. The way the fluted bezel plays with the light is truly a beauty to behold. The smooth bezel that DJ comes with may also become your preferred choice if you want to keep it more understated, because the fluted bezel does catch the eye due to mesmerizing reflections. The dial configuration in this model is stick hour markers, with the other two offerings by Rolex being Roman numerals and diamond sets. The stick hour markers are filled with luminescent material and have fine chamfering done at both ends which give beautiful reflections from the light source. The hour markers under the macro didn't look too bad, but I could spot some dust on the hour markers, which of course isn't ideal. I'm not too surprised as this isn't the first time I've seen dust or dial imperfections in a Rolex. The dust in this dial is consistent and can be seen in another hour marker too, so it's not unusual but it's definitely not expected. I do hope Rolex improve on their quality to avoid dust and such imperfections in the dial, as they are by no means a low price tier watches. Looking closely at the hands, I'm generally impressed with the finish, and the joint for the hands, it's also on par with the craftsmanship you would expect from Rolex. The hour and minute hand have chamfered profile, and I really like the design because it not only plays with the light and shadows but also make it more easy to read time in different light conditions. The undersides of hands are not polished or even machined, and again, although this isn't surprising for Rolex, but it's not expected. The dial comes in absolutely spectacular sunburst machining. The radial brush lines, as you can see, add a dramatic look and experience to the overall joy of ownership and experience. The shade of blue in this particular model is also truly beautiful and allows the sunburst lines to flourish and glow in their full glory. Of all the sunburst dials I have discussed on my channel, this one definitely has me spending the most of the time in explaining how beautifully it plays with the light, and you can easily see why. Rolex watches don't come with anti-reflective coating on the crystal, and this is where my gripe comes from. The reflections from the crystal are not only distracting, but they do take away some of the charm of the dial, as you don't get to see the little details due to the reflections from the crystal. I personally think that Rolex deliberately don't want to apply AR coating because then the crystals stop reflecting light. And they don't want this to happen because when looked upon from the distance, the reflecting crystals complement the overall blingy nature of the modern Rolex watches perfectly. The watch comes equipped with latest caliber 3235, which is not only made entirely in-house by Rolex but is also chronometer certified caliber. The movement offers 70 hours of power reserve and is guaranteed to keep time within +- 2 seconds a day, so you wouldn't need to even adjust the time in months. On the wrist, the watch wears beautifully. Thanks to the Jubilee bracelet and its shorter intermediate links, the resulting bracelet contour to wrist is probably the best in the whole Rolex range, Oyster bracelets included. The shorter links of bracelet not only help with how watch hugs the wrist, but also aligns perfectly in terms of design with the fluted bezel and overall dressy looks of the watch. Similar to fluted bezel, the bracelet again adds a little more blingy factor. So if that may be a concern or you wanted to keep it rather understated, then you could choose to go with Oyster bracelet too. But that will still come with polished center links and a bling factor will somewhat stay. I particularly like the fact that although Datejust isn't a professional sports watch, the clasp does come with 5mm quick extension system. This really helps with summer and active days when your wrists swell and you can open up the clasp to increase the overall bracelet length. The bracelet, however, doesn't come with the flip-lock clasp, and this is understandable because this watch is not a professional watch. However, I would have expected it anyway given the price tag of this watch. To add to the flavor, the watch also comes with screwed-on crown for the watch to offer 100 meters of water resistance, which is a welcome corrector. In the times where having more than one watch in the collection is pretty much becoming a norm, it's fair to have a watch dedicatedly for an occasion or weekend. But there will never be a time where you will not need an everyday watch that can be worn without needing to worry about what event, day of the week or time of the day it is. Rolex Datejust, although primarily is a dress watch, yet comes with the looks and sporty attributes enough for you to take it to a swim or even travel. And then there's one thing I can guarantee you. The more you wear it, the more you would love and appreciate how little design details can make you smile.